We've all heard stories of the Mandalorian bounty hunter and a child.
And here we go.
It's the comic book bullies.
Man, you come right out of a comic book.
It's the comic book bullies.
You will bow down before me!
It's the comic book bullies.
Now I am the master.
It's the comic book bullies. It's the comic book bullies.
All right, give it to me.
Oh, yeah. The following contains offensive language and spoilers. Listener discretion is advised. Yeah.
I've heard like 50 million songs with that same sample, so you gotta specify.
Was
was
that
that, though?
Suzanne
That's
Vega?
just-
That's the OG. That's the OG.
I never guessed that. Okay,
Yeah, it's
okay, the
sampled.
OG. I
yeah.
just know like 50 million other. Yeah, forget me nots and shit. But yeah, welcome back to the Comic Book Bullies. Nurse, you bullying me host Leroy, aka Knicks In.
Oh, yeah.
with my
Oh, I'm on
co-host.
camera. Oh, yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
no, we all
This is
gotta go.
Eli, aka Dewanawanga Waffle.
Okay, I know what movie you saw
Let
when
me
you
get in the
said
character.
that. All right, and we also want to give a shout out to our third co-host, the AI. Shout out to them for being collecting all the
All hail the
information,
Doombots.
you know, and giving it back to Mark Zuckerberg. So yeah, we appreciate you. All right, so like I said, we got a lot of. Actually, we don't have a whole lot of show for you. We kind of just get to the meat and potatoes of what's going on. But if you came for a review of Mandalorian and Grogu, which is almost a month out in advance, you're here. Doesn't matter. We're gonna give it to you. And we're gonna give our details, even though I kind of forgot what happened in this movie, but Eli saw it and he's gonna refresh
Sure,
and he's gonna remind me
guess.
what I saw. So but before they go there, can we hit some I don't know,
Let's
some
go.
highlights?
Let's do it.
Right. Okay. Eli, I know you're not a sports guy. I know you're not in a foosball or stuff like that, but the New York Knicks just won the
I heard they did.
NBA championship. Yeah. And people are celebrating, New York fans. I'm gonna see if I can play this clip, and I probably will get flagged for it. We'll get shut down. We're gonna see what happens. Nope, not that. Let me see.
Makes the second.
Yeah, I can.
Can you hear that?
Don't foul! Don't foul!
He tries a three, puts it up, off the mark, and an over to rebound. This is not a dream. Your long wait has ended.
So
The Knicks are finally NBA champions.
So yeah, he's happy. He's excited. That's why you heard me say, "Why is that grown man crying in the
there you
background?" That's why. Okay, so yeah, so most Knicks fans are that happy right now. So yeah, going crazy about it, and shout out to him. So yeah, like I said, everybody's going crazy over. People are loving the Knicks right now, and trying to show you some other stuff on it because it seems like what the city's doing is celebrating. Eli, I don't know if you've heard anything like that. I know you have ties and connections up there, and maybe you're feeling the same way everybody else do. But apparently, what New York fans are doing are dressing up as Spider-Man and destroying the city. So, as you would do as a Spider-Man New York Knicks fan. So yeah. So my thing is like this: if they're doing all this and they won, what would they have done if they lost? Like sign the purge sign or something, or, you know, play the horns or shit. So it's kind of crazy right now. It's like in Batman, you know, when Bane did it in Batman, when he like talked to the city like Gotham is yours, do as you please. It's like that's what New York is doing right now. So yeah, in celebration.
Well, that's what I hear.
So,
It's like, was it before I was born? Like since the last time they won, I guess. You know, damn, that's like worse than the Yankees' dry spell.
right. I mean, it's like 50-some years since last time they won.
I mean,
so,
when
yeah,
when my first
right now.
taste of it wasn't my first taste of Yankee World Series, but I was young. But when they did win, I was too young to be a fan. But then I was in my 20s when they finally won again. So they went like 20 something years, and then they finally won again. Now, yeah, as a lifelong Yankees fan, I was happy. I wasn't like crying happy, but
Not like, think how many hits we get right now, Eli, if you did that.
yeah. But no, people
Over the
were
New York
asking me.
Knicks
The guy at the pizza place, the guy, he was asking, "You gonna watch the Knicks games tonight?" Because I was wearing my Yankee hat, and he's like, "Nah, man, I'm not much of a a basketball guy." But I hear they're doing good. That's what.
Yeah. So no. Shout out to them. Shout out to the New York Knicks. Glad they're happy. Glad the fans are happy. Be safe out there. Don't tear up too much shit. Have fun as Spider-Man, but don't beat somebody up as
Don't
just
give
a Spider-Man.
J. Jonah Jameson a reason.
Exactly. Spider-Man's a menace.
So wait, let me ask you: were you rooting for them?
Yeah.
Oh
no. I was not. I was like, how the fuck they win? But as I was watching the game go along, I was like, oh, they are clearly the better team. But no, I was not rooting for them. But I'm not shocked for them winning. When it's all said and done, I'm like, they're the better team. They
you're a
won.
Southern boy.
So, yeah. Yeah, so of course I'm gonna go for the Spurs. I was rooting for them. I like this obviously the team. The fucking guy they got on the team.
I saw some of I watched some of the highlights because I heard the Wu-Tang did some shit.
That's what I meant to tell you. Okay, here's the thing, Eli. That's what I meant to tell you. I didn't want to go to detail of it, but I got detail about it. So the New York Knicks, pretty much beating everybody during the playoffs. The only time they lost, like in the finals, is when Trump was in the second. Yeah, and they pretty much said like it took the air out of the whole crowd. Like nobody was cheering him like that because he was just there, being Trump. And it was like, and they lost, So the next game, they were getting blown out by 29 points, one of the biggest blowouts in NBA Finals history. And everybody's like, let's go. And then the Wu-Tang Clan came out doing halftime show, performed, and then they said, Knicks in 5. Like, we're going to win this game. Like Method Man said, we're going to win this game tonight. Like, how the fuck are you going to win this game?
Yeah,
they
saw
won
the
game.
Yeah.
They saw the highlight. It's the biggest comeback in NBA Finals history in that game because Method Man said they're going to win that night. Because they were getting blown up. People were leaving the stands. People were gone. They were like, nah, there's no way they're going to win this game. I was changing the channel. And then I saw them coming back. I'm like, oh, shit, they might win this game. And they won it. So Wu-Tang is the reason New York won.
No, I watched the highlights thinking that they were going to show the Wu-Tang on the, but they didn't. It just showed like highlights of the game. But yeah, there's some tall-ass motherfuckers, man. Like giant-ass slee-stack fucking sentinels and shit.
Right. Holt mutants, right?
Holy shit. Yeah.
Oh shit. Anyway, that's no sports talk. We Oh yeah. All right. So we're gonna bring back something we're doing for this month, Eli. Remember we were talking about we were gonna do the Pride Month hero. Do you have your Pride Month
don't.
hero?
I have a character I can mention, but I don't I didn't do my homework.
You didn't do your homework, Eli. You didn't do your homework.
But
okay, that's
I will mention. Well, do you want to go first? Okay, so
no, you go.
A few years back, well, actually, it was during fucking lockdown. When there was nothing to do but sit on Facebook all day and shit. And I was in some horror groups, and I think it was during Pride Month, and they started mentioning like gay characters in horror movies and shit, and that's where I kind of like got wind of the whole transphobia as far as like sleepaway camp and all that stuff, dressed because certain horror movies are kind of transphobic, like
I mean, we
Psycho,
can talk about all
and
back to Psycho.
Even they said Leatherface to a certain extent, but definitely sleepaway camp. Anyways, people were talking about gay characters in horror movies and shit, and I threw out there Sam from The Lost Boys. So Lost Boys, one of my favorite horror movies ever. Favorite movie. I watched that on the reg, and for those who listen to this pod, I actually went to Santa Cruz when I was out in Cali and went to all the comic book store where they filmed and the boardwalk, went to all the Lost Boys shooting locations and shit. So yeah, I'm a big Lost Boys fan, but I just threw out there that, hey, yeah, Sam was probably gay, and just a theory, and it pissed a lot of people off.
I don't know why. Who made
Joel
that movie?
Schumacher, and that was one of the things. Like Joel Schumacher was openly gay,
And every character he's ever made in a movie was gay. That's what it was. Batman and Robin,
like
gay.
Sam was always dressing like he had a very sense of like a high sense of fashion. He was dressed in all these flashy clothes.
Plus,
No,
he
he
was a
wasn't. He was
vampire
one of
too,
the
right?
vampire killers. You know, but one of the things is he had a
Oh,
Rob Lowe
okay.
poster on a poster of Rob Lowe. You know, and this is Rob Lowe back in the 80s. So
Right.
Rob Lowe was a teen heartthrob. You know, all the chicks liked him.
Right.
But Sam had a poster of him on the wall. And then when Michael looks at Star, you know, the vampire chick, when the sexy saxophone dude was playing, and he sees, you know, Star in the audience, and he's all in love with her. And then, but Sam looks at her and goes, "Ew." So it's like little like, yeah, you know, and that's Joel Schumacher was an openly gay filmmaker, and I was like, yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if he meant Sam to be gay, but it pissed off a lot of people, and I just thought that was funny. So happy Pride Month.
Happy Pride Month. Okay, now my character I'm gonna pick. Okay, the character, and I think I've already showed it to you. The character I'm going to show is Homelander.
Is he gay, or is he just like pansexual or something?
I mean, it still counts. It still counts. I mean, we don't know what he is.
Anything,
he's something.
Anyone, and anything.
Right. He's trisexual. He'll try anything with anybody. So yeah. All right. So the thing is let me go into detail about Homelander, because if you just watch the TV show, you will know what I'm talking about. You be like, man, he's weird, but there's no like gay. No, in the comic, yeah. Like I said, he just fucks anything. He really don't care. That's what it is. For instance, like Homelander and Soldier Boy. Yes, in the TV show, that's his father. That was not the case in the comic. In the comic, okay, I got to explain it, because this is where it gets kind of complicated. All right, so Soldier Boy was a guy trying out, like a low-level superhero trying out for the 7. So the only way he could try out for the 7 was once a year during Herogasm. I can't show you the pictures, because last time I showed you a picture of Herogasm, Eli, a video got took down. So I'm not even going to try that again. But yeah. But the point is, he tries out for the 7 every year, Herogasm, with Homelander. And Homelander tells him each year, sorry, you didn't do good enough. You're not going to make it this year. And he tries next year again. And he tries harder and harder and harder, no pun intended. But yeah, that's what happens. So yeah. So Soldier Boy, technically not gay, I guess. But Homelander definitely is. So yeah, he's using it to his advantage for Soldier Boy, whatever like that. So yeah. So I'm counting. Sorry.
Yeah, Homelander,
that counts.
Guy, gal, toaster, anything.
Right. If it fits, yeah. That's all I got with that. That's my guy for that. No telling what I have next week. All right, so they can move on past that. We go to the part that you love about the podcast. Yeah, you already know where we're going.
Oh,
the box office numbers.
Okay.
Yep. So give it to me. What is the
I really have no idea.
Is
it what was it? It wasn't He-Man last week. What came out this week? Is it one of the horror movies again? I don't know. Oh, is it the Spielberg flick? What's it called? Disclosure?
Yeah.
Disclosure Day.
Not Disclosure. That's the Demi Moore movie. Yeah.
Okay.
The one where she sexually harassed Michael, what's his face? But
All right, not bad. Look at
Yeah, Disclosure Day did pretty decent numbers. Here's the thing: it has already outgrossed Massive Universe.
Okay.
In one weekend, yeah. Which they're saying Massive Universe, the way it's clanking right now, might be one of the biggest box office flops in movie history because of what they spent on it versus what they made. So yeah, because it took like a big dump and flop in the week after that. So yeah, so basically movies like Morbius and Madam Web have outgrown. It won't even make that money, which is weird. Like what? It wasn't that bad of a movie. It's not getting bad word of mouth. Yeah. People liking it. It doesn't make any sense for it to be this bad.
There's no interest in it. Like who knows? Nobody knows who He-Man is unless it's like us. Dudes over 40 are probably the only one. 45,
yeah.
Old fuckers like that. So,
yeah, they're saying that. Like
nobody gives a shit about He-Man but us. So
that is true. Meanwhile, the Gen Zs and shit like that want to watch their fancy horror movies, their Gen Z horrors and shit. So yeah, they're YouTube directors and critics and shit. So yeah, so that's what they're going to see. And Disclosure Day also. I don't get scared. That Scary Movie. Scary Movie is killing it. People watching Disclosure Day and Scary Movie. I mean, even if you don't know what Master Universe, even if you weren't born, even if your granddad wasn't born before He-Man came out, at least you'd be kind of curious. Kind of. It's a barbarian in space. Like you should at least be like, I just see what that is. Nobody gives a shit. Wow, that's the world we live in. Meanwhile, Madam Web and and Morbius, people go like, well, let me go see that. Kraven the Hunter, let me go see that.
Well, that was back. That was a couple years ago. That was a few years ago when people were. Remember, the pandemic took took its toll, and people just wanted to get out.
That's true.
Yeah.
People want to see something. Yeah. And people are going to the movies, people are seeing stuff like that. Like I said, we talk about, because the thing is, like, we're seeing all these franchise movies and like that, and these IP movies, they fill the box office. Meanwhile, the original movies are being successful. Disclosure Day, yes, directed by Steven Spielberg, but it's still an original movie. It's not based on anything. Yeah. Now, maybe he probably borrowed some stuff from some movies he did before. Still original idea. That's okay. What's the saying? Good artist borrows, great artist steal.
Ripping off himself.
Yeah, there you go. He's ripping off himself, so fuck it, whatever. So he's done it before. That's why I'm glad we didn't do that top 5 thing, Eli, because I was going to
roast
go into details about that. Yeah, that's why we didn't want to go down that rabbit hole. So yeah. All right. That being said, can we move on to the next part of the podcast? Okay, like I said, we saw a movie. Now, before we go into this movie, we're going to talk about Mandalorian and Grogu right now. But before going to Mandalorian and Grogu, I do want to dispel a myth going on right now. The myth is that Mandalorian and Grogu is flopping at the box office. It's not really. The box right now is at $315. It's $300 million. Now, I know you're saying for a Star Wars movies, that's kind of, chump change like that. But for the box office of 2026, that's like, Scrooge McDuck, diving in a damn money pit right now. So it's making money. It's just not Star Wars money. But no, it's making money. It's doing pretty decent. And it's doing what Star Wars wanted to do. And plus, you already know when it comes on Disney Plus, it's going to do like gangbusters anyway. So, which what I thought that's what you were going to do.
I was...
Because I know it's going to drop. It'll probably not.
That seems to be my. Whenever that happens, like whenever I'll rent a movie or something on streaming, I'll rent it, and then 2 days later it pops up on like Max or some shit or Peacock or some shit.
And the thing is, like, if you just would have asked me,
and I was like,
I would have told you
that. I just blew money on this.
I'm like, Eli, did you not see my post? I made the post last week. It's going to drop 2 days ago.
Yeah. But yeah, no, I was like, you know what? I haven't been to a movie in a while, and I'm like, this one started sooner because I really want to see The Furious.
Why did you watch that?
Because it started earlier. I have a window of time. I got so I was like, okay, this one, and then I want to see him.
You have a busy
I want to see him. I really want to see He-Man, probably more than Mando. But yeah, this just started, and I'm like, and then.
Spoiler alert, it's a better movie.
And then you were saying, hey, you were asking, I'll fuck it. It's a Star Wars movie. I might as well see a Star Wars movie in a theater.
Because the crazy thing about it, because I did a Mandela effect on myself. I thought I reviewed this. I thought I talked about it. I put it out my head. It's a whole, I recorded the show. All this shit that happened in my head, Eli. It never happened.
Talking to yourself in the shower.
I was just talking about the whole time.
Fuck this fucking movie. Fuck this shit.
Welcome back.
Fuck this movie.
Did that when you said we never did it? I was just like, wait, we never did.
I've been saying fuck Baby Yoda's whole life all week.
Right. Like I just had a whole conversation about myself the whole time, but now we can actually officially talk about it. So we got to slow
I'm ripping the Band-Aids off.
Right. All of what I said in my imaginary review of it, but Eli, before we go to, like I said, the rules. It's Star Wars. I can let you go first, talk about it, see what you think about it.
So I'm going first,
and then I'll just chime in.
Okay, well, I didn't take any notes, so I'm just going to go off the top, just freestyle. Use the Force.
Okay.
Yes, let
go from your heart, right?
Okay, so Mandalorian and Baby Yoda or Grogu. He's always be Baby Yoda to me. I don't give a shit. Yeah.
He's Baby Yoda to everybody. But yeah.
I thought this was perfectly fine. Perfectly fine. I read a lot of Star Wars. You know, I'm a Star Wars fan. You know this. I'm a big Star Wars fan. I read a lot of the comic books. I watch a lot of the shows. I've played the video games. And, you know, I've pretty much consumed every piece of Star Wars media. I've read novels. And this is right up on par. This movie is on par with a Star Wars comic or a Star Wars novel or a video game or whatever. Animation show, whatever. And it's fine. You know, they expand the universe. They give you cool action. They fill that void for a Star Wars fan who wants more of this universe, and that's what they're for. You get more world building and more, you know, the expansion of the worlds and the universe and the galaxy in a comic book or in a novel. You know, and that's what this movie pretty much is. It's just it's like a comic book. This movie is like a comic book. So yeah, I was thoroughly entertained. You know, it was on par with a comic book. That being said, Star Wars movies, I feel, should be above par of what a comic book should be. You know what I mean? You expect more from a Star Wars movie. Yeah, Star Wars comic books and Star Wars novels and video games and animation and TV shows are fun and fine, but when you go to a movie to see Star Wars, you kind of expect more. And I felt, okay, yeah, this was lacking as a Star Wars movie. It was still fine, and it gave me cool action and, you know, shit that I like seeing. But as a Star Wars movie, it was kind of, you know, you know.
Yeah.
So that's where I'm at. You know, was I entertained? Sure. Did I have a good time? Pretty much. But yeah, I as a, you know, the thrill of seeing Star Wars in the theater wasn't there for me. You know, I wasn't wowed. I wasn't particularly moved by this movie. You know, it was just perfectly fine. I could have just waited for Disney Plus. You know, because that's what it felt like. It felt like a long episode of the show. You know,
that's what I'm saying. It felt like season 4. Of the Mandalorian. It maybe a slightly higher budget.
Yeah.
But it felt like season 4.
Or like a few episodes stitched together. Like you had
it felt like, I'm gonna tell you exactly, it felt like 4 episodes of the Mandalorian. Normally Mandalorian's like 8 episodes, so this is like 4 seasons. And they might probably could have stretched this out to be a whole season with some bullshit filler episodes between like they normally do, you know. But for the most part, this felt like half a season of Mandalorian. It could have easily been on Disney Plus. You can almost see where they cut
like the way the story, this plot was, you know, arranged. It was like every act of the movie was a separate episode. You had the first act where he goes and gets the job, and then he goes on this job, and then Baby Yoda has the Baby Yoda episode where he goes off by himself, and then we have the finale, the season finale with the big bombastic battle and blah 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 blah. So yeah.
That's what I'm saying. This movie had 4 acts. That's not how movie structure works. TV, yes. TV,
4
you can have
acts
that.
That really weren't cohesive, you know.
Right. You're like, let's stop, and then we move on to the next thing. And we stop and move to the next thing. So yeah.
Because I had very low expectations for this movie, which is why I didn't see it until today. It's been out for a month, and I just finally saw it. I was not a fan of the last season of the Mando series. I was not a fan. I thought the Boba Fett show sucked. You know, most of the streaming shows, the Star Wars streaming shows, are hit or miss for me. Sure, I like Andor and I like Skeleton Crew, but you know, a lot of them, they're just kind of meh for me. They're just kind of mid, you know. So, and I really didn't like the last season of Mandalorian or the Boba Fett show. So when I heard about this movie, I was like, I really didn't give a shit. This is like the first Star Wars movie that came out, and I really didn't care about it, you know, hence why I didn't see it till now. So I had really low expectations going in. Now, watching it, it's better than I expected. I enjoyed it more than I did, you know, but it was just a series of cool action scenes. Oh, you know, I'm a Star Wars fan. I'm like, oh, I recognize that ship. I recognize that character. I recognize that. Oh, I had that toy, or I had that toy. So yeah, it was just a lot of fan service and nostalgia bait for me, where I'm like, oh, that's cool, that's cool, that's cool, and some cool action scenes. Now, as a story, yeah, as a plot, it was a very thin plot, and I felt like it was dumbed down for like non-Star Wars fans or whatever.
That's what I was just about to say. I didn't want to say it, but you kind of said it for me. Being a Star Wars fan, Eli, this movie may not be meant for you.
As a Star Wars movie, yeah, like, because I mean, let's get serious. Like I said, I wasn't into the Mandalorian show that much. I mean, the first 2 seasons were cool. After that, it kind of got murky, and I stopped giving a shit because it was trying to set up and tie itself to the Ahsoka and to the the prequel series, and it was trying to like the Thrawn shit. It was trying to like build like an MCU, like
trying to build everything around that. And I was like, that's not what I wanted from that. I just wanted gunsmoke in space. That's what I wanted,
and that's all.
And
this
that's all it
show
needed to be.
Or this movie was. It was basically the.
And that's all it need for me.
And I think that's probably why I liked it as much as I did, because this felt like what the show should have been. Just Mando.
Yes. It's like down to the basics, get to the point, stop doing all this spin-off pilot shit.
Bringing in Luke, bringing in Ahsoka, bringing in, all this shit, and trying to tie it to,
It's supposed to be Star Wars closest thing to a Western, where Mandalorian and Grogu just go around, flying around, looking for adventures, and get involved in somebody else's story. They help them out and move to the next planet. And you could have done that. And that's what they did. They did do this, and that's all the show
and
should have
been. And that's probably
been.
why I enjoyed it as much as I did, because it was just the Mando and Baby Yoda going on, doing bounty hunter work, doing dirt throughout the galaxy. And that's what the show should have been. So. Yeah, I mean, there was a lot of stuff to like, and there was a lot of stuff I did enjoy. But yeah, I mean, just the cohesive story, it just felt like, it just felt fragmented. Like you said, chapters, separate chapters of a season instead of one cohesive plot.
Because it felt like the movie ended. You're like, well, the movie should be over with now. And then you got like 45 more minutes of shit happening. Just like, okay.
Like he captures that one guy, that Imperial dude. And then he's done.
Right.
You don't see him again. Like, oh, here's this. Yeah, that was the end of that episode. Like, oh, here's this guy. I was supposed to go get the Hut kid, but I got this guy instead because he's an Imperial, and there you go. And you don't see him again. Like, there's, I thought like when there was a scene where that dude's right-hand man with the horns and shit, when he threw him that salt, he put it in his drink. Like, here you go.
Yeah.
He just basically gave that dude a fortune. Like, I have no use for the salt, so here, you have it. I thought that dude was gonna show up at the end and help him, and like, hey, you paid me a rock of salt, which is like worth a fortune, so I'm gonna like pay you back or help you out somehow. I thought that was gonna come back at the end somehow, like a normal movie plot line would, a payoff, when you set something up, you pay it off, but that didn't happen. It was just a bunch of random shit that didn't go anywhere.
Right. Because it's like you said, I have no proof that's what happened, but it definitely feels like this was season 4. They was working on it, and then some big wig at the very top said, hey, turn this to the movie. And then they restructured it into what we got.
That's what I think would happen. I actually agree with that. Like, we haven't had, like, this is the first Star Wars movie in 7 years, since before the pandemic. They tried the streaming shit.
Right.
That's been divisive. Some people, like I said, some of it's cool, some of it ain't. But we need to get Star Wars back to the theater, because Star Wars is meant to be in the theater and it's meant to be a movie and all that. So let's make a movie, and like, what's the biggest success story out of Disney Star Wars? It's Mandalorian or it's Baby Yoda. That's what it is. No one gives a shit about the Mandalorian.
Right.
Really,
right.
He's just second-rate Boba Fett, and everyone hates Boba Fett. Boba Fett sucks now. You guys won. He sucks now. He's the bitch y'all said he was. I digress. But yeah, like let's take the Baby Yoda and let's make that into a movie. Problem is, the hype for the Mando died like a couple years ago.
Like when did episode 3
Like
ended? Like
a few years
4 years
ago.
ago?
It's been a
Yeah. So even fans of Mandalorian
Yeah.
kind of over
like
Mandalorian.
the hype is gone. The thrill is gone. Now you're going to bring this show that was kind of cool at first and then kind of died out in the end.
Yeah.
Now you're going to bring out a movie and expect everybody to just show up and, expect kids. I think, they're really banking on kids to show up for this, because Baby Yoda's in it. But meanwhile, you got
Right.
Mando burning stormtroopers alive and shooting people.
That's what I'm saying.
Shooting people in the
movie
face
starts
and
off like that. Right. Like I said, it's a tonal shift with what's going on with that. It's like Star Wars
Yeah.
don't know what it wants to be. It's trying to, if you try to be
Yeah.
everything, you're nothing.
And
Yeah.
I think Andor has proven that people are hungry for more mature Star Wars. And I think Disney needs
Right.
to just accept the fact that kids don't give a shit about Star Wars now. They might if they
Right. They keep trying. But what they're trying to combine it into one thing where it doesn't work. Okay, you're going to have what's that one with the elephant baby in it?
Skeleton Crew.
That shit. Okay, you're gonna have that. Have your kid shit over here, and to have your Andor shit over here. Don't try to have Baby Elephant and Andor in the same show.
Yeah, that's
that's what they're
basically
doing
what.
here,
Yeah, like
so.
kids don't give a shit about Star Wars. They like manga. They like manga and anime.
Right.
You know why? Because those are good
Mhm.
stories. I've watched some. I've watched Demon Slayer. Holy shit, is that brutal and violent as fuck? But it's also very cute. All the little cute girls going like.
Yeah. Keep in mind the Demon Slayer cartoon
Anime
outgrew
is
Superman
weird to
last
me.
year.
Like that's, but the kids are into that shit, But also,
Right.
story takes precedent over everything. The plot, Demon Slayer or like a lot of animes
Right.
just get done and they're done. They don't drag them on.
Right.
Yeah,
They have a
tell it,
story they're
they're
trying to
done,
tell. They're telling us it.
whereas they're just sucking the fuck out of the tit of Star Wars and just milking it dry and.
Yeah, because like I said, at the end of the day, all this material that they're cranking out,
Yeah.
most of it feels like filler. Like people saying that this movie felt like a side quest. The Mandalorian show in general is a side quest. That's all it's ever been. So of course it's going to feel like it. It's nothing like you have to go see it, or it's going to, because it's not furthering the story, because it's like in the middle of a story that's already been wrapped
And
up.
that's the thing is like this show didn't touch on any of the Mandalore, the Siege of Mandalore, or the Mythosaur.
Which I'm glad, Eli. I'm so fucking glad about that shit. I know y'all like that shit. All that lore building.
They fucked it up.
That's when I.
That's why. That's why I didn't like it.
Okay,
Yeah.
even if
Yeah,
they
I
did,
didn't
I didn't
about
care. Give me Gunsmoke in space, not all this Lord of the Rings
even if you
bullshit
had
y'all got going on.
fans, even if there was fans who did like that shit, who wanted like Mandalorian lore and shit, and wanted the wanted fucking the Darksaber and wanted Sabine and fucking Bo-Katan and all that shit. They didn't get that in this movie. You know what I mean?
Right.
So it just became this like very simple plot that was meant to try to drive in, the masses. It was very, very
right.
basic,
Yeah. Now you shit on the movie enough times. Let me give.
I thought I liked it.
I figured that's what you
like
want
this
to
movie.
do. Okay. Yeah, you like it, but let me
There's
just
a
launch
big giant
this.
but.
But yeah. So let's talk about some good thing about this movie, because I'm gonna praise it. The thing that you're hating the movie for and you're shitting on the movie for, I give the movie props on that. The movie did not give you all that Star Wars bullshit in it. It just gave you simple plot. This is easy to follow. Bounty hunter and his baby son, dog, pet, apprentice, whatever the fuck you want to call it, fly around space, taking missions.
No, that's
Get
what I
into
liked
action,
about it
get
too,
into
because
shit
I didn't
like
give a
that.
shit about. I didn't care about the Mandalorian shit either.
Right. So especially for people that want to see a Star Wars movie but don't want to get into all stuff, because like I said, it's getting to the point where Star Wars is getting too dense for normal people to just get into the stuff. This, you don't have to know anything about anything, and you just jump into it and you're fine. Eli, it's a whole bunch. But the thing is, if there are Easter eggs like, hey, I know that guy. Ooh, look at that guy. It's there for you. Like what's that? The dog looking thing from Rebels. No. The pirate
Zeb.
guy.
Yeah, Zeb.
Yeah. They knew that Star Wars fans were going to cream the pants over that shit like that. But folks like me, even though I am a Star Wars fan, but folks like me, I'm just looking like, oh, the dog looking guy. Okay, whatever. you know. But I know they'll be, hey, it's that guy. You know, it don't really matter. It don't really fucking matter. He's just there as a dressing. But the point is, get to the point, you got these guys right here. Jabba the Hutt's son. I know he's a thing from
he
Rebels
was on
2.
the Clone. He was a baby on Clone Wars. Yeah.
One of them. Yeah. But it doesn't matter. You can just watch it. Okay, if you know Jabba the Hutt, cool. If you don't know Jabba the Hutt, that's cool. Big slug looking, muscle bound dude, whatever like that. Okay, Gladiator. You can go with it. You can find, and it's fine. So the story, you're saying you're blaming the story and you're dogging the story for being simple. I'm praising the story for being simple. I mean, you don't want too much.
Yeah,
for the first time
the
you see a Star Wars
simplicity of the
movie.
story. I just don't like the pacing and how it. Yeah.
Oh, the pacing sucks.
The plot,
I agree with
the
you on that.
structure of the story. Yeah, that's what I have.
We agree on that. The pacing fucking sucked.
Yeah,
I'm trying to praise the movie.
I enjoy that it was just a basic Mando doing dirt throughout the galaxy. That's all I wanted to see. You know, a bounty hunter taking jobs and, you know, doing crime and doing shit throughout the galaxy.
Yeah, and you don't have to, like I said, if it's your first Star Wars movie, this is a great entry point into Star Wars if you just don't know anything about it, because you don't have to know anything. You don't even have to know anything about Mandalorian and Grogu.
And that's
bounty hunter with a helmet.
And that's it. Kind of gives me hope. It's like this.
Yeah, and a magic baby. This
could be
that's all you need to know.
The testing ground. I don't know. But like this could be the direction that Star Wars can go in now. It doesn't have to. We don't need Skywalker shit. We don't need Vader and Anakin. We don't need lightsabers. Like Andor's proven, we don't need a lightsaber. We don't need the Force. You know, you know. So this could be the testing. Like this movie is like this is the new direction Star Wars can go in. It can expand and go in other directions. You know, because there were no lightsabers. There was no Skywalkers. You know. Yeah, there was a bunch of Easter eggs and shit and references, but it was detaching itself from the Skywalker saga. And that's, I think, is a good thing and what we've needed, you know.
Also another cool thing about this movie. Like I said, I'm gonna praise the movie. We're doing good cop, bad cop. I was already prepared for that. So yeah.
Oh yeah.
The soundtrack.
Yes, that synth.
Yeah, the soundtrack was made by Ludwig Göransson. Yeah, the guy that does Sinners, Black Panther.
Oh, he did?
He did Community. So
okay,
yeah, he was on Community. He did his music for Community.
But I did like that like synth thing that it went like synthesized.
That when it was on that Blade Runner planet.
Yeah,
that shit got stuck in my head for like a couple days.
Score.
But
yeah.
And just the set design overall, I thought was pretty, because a lot of time with these Disney Plus shows, they make Star Wars, a lot of these planets just kind of run together, or it's just Tatooine, and that's it. Where in this movie, they did go planet hopping, and every planet felt distinct. Blade Runner planet, the Hutt planet, you know, everything felt a little different on there. The Gladiator scenes, stuff like that. So I remember scenes from there. So, and that's what you want from a Star Wars movie: memorable set pieces, planets, and things like that. So yeah. So also, I got to give your boy credit.
Which one?
Your boy.
Oh yeah, that's right. He was in this. Yeah.
The only Marty Supreme we acknowledge. What's crazy about it, I'm watching the credits because I've been a complete blackout for this movie, paying no attention to it, stuff like that. So when I'm seeing Martin Scorsese in the credits, I'm like, the fuck? What?
And then he was a creature. He voiced the creature, yeah. And that was funny.
He voiced the creature, shit funny. Like that. It's like, and I'm just thinking, like, okay, so the Mandalorian is getting information from Martin Scorsese. This is trippy for me, man.
Yeah,
but it worked. He was awesome with that.
There's a few moments where I actually chuckled, you know, and that was one of them.
Yeah. So, like I said, Mandalorian and Grogu's dynamic, that was pretty fun and stuff like that. It's kind of funny that, like, after, like we said, when Mandalorian first debuted, you know, Mandalorian took his helmet off. I didn't watch Game of Thrones, so I don't really know all of Game of Thrones characters and shit like that, like y'all do. So when they pop up in movies, I don't know him. So when he just took his helmet off, he's just a dude. I don't know, like, okay, just a dude. But now he takes his helmet off, he's Pedro Pascal. You can't separate it now. It's like, oh, but it's the same guy. He's been the same guy the whole time. It's just throwing me off now when he takes his helmet off. Now, before it didn't bother me.
And I like that they kind of explain the whole, because they always say, oh yeah, you're not around, the Mandos can't remove their helmet, and they don't really explain why and blah blah, and it doesn't really make sense and all that shit why Mandos can't remove their helmets.
Mm-hmm.
But then they explain it in this. Right. Oh, you can't remove your helmet to an enemy.
Right. Oh no,
And,
no,
and then I
any
gotta
live
kill
person,
you
a
after.
live person.
You're not allowed to see my play.
Yeah, okay, remember one of the robots, IG something something. He took the helmet off
I
in
don't
front of
remember.
him.
But
It was in season 1.
yeah, and
Okay, never mind. You're not up on your Star Wars lore, okay?
yeah.
Yeah, but that's so yeah, so that's why I like it. Honestly, I had fun with Jabba the Hutt's son. I thought he was a fun, interesting character. You know, it kind of, I like how Star Wars. I do like that Disney Star Wars kind of humanizing some of the monster characters. Where George Lucas didn't give a fuck. They was like sidekicks or enemies or bad guys, whatever the fuck like that. Where they're trying to humanize the character. Now people complain like, now why are the Hutts speaking English? I don't think they are. I think the Hutts are still speaking Hutt.
Oh, okay.
We're just hearing
that
it
makes
differently.
sense. Okay.
That's me. That's what I think.
Yeah, that makes sense. So we don't have to read subtitles.
Yeah, nobody wants to read subtitles for 90 minutes. Nobody wants to do that shit. So yeah. So it's like when you're watching a movie in Egypt and shit like that. Nobody's talking. They're talking English. So yeah. That's my thing. That's what I think. So yeah. But yeah, like I said, I didn't want to spend all day on the Mandalorian, but I enjoyed the movie. I thought the movie was fun as hell. It was slick in action. I think the only part that really fucked me up and just killed the movie was when the Mandalorian and Grogu turned into Grogu.
What?
When we got his episode.
Oh,
the movie just stopped for me.
I
The movie
actually
just fucking
didn't
stopped.
mind that. I felt.
Oh man, it went on for way too long, man. The movie
I
just
actually
fucking
thought.
stopped.
Well, for one thing, it was very relaxing. It was very ASMR because it was kind of silent.
Oh man, like if it was a little shorter and tight, I would have been cool with it. But it didn't have to be that long, man. It didn't need a side plot with him talking to some kind of fisherman dog.
Yeah, but that
or
reminded
cat,
me of
whatever.
that was total Lone Wolf and Cub. That was total Daigoro, the little son, taking care of his ailing samurai father, Ito Ogami. So I was like right out of Lone Wolf and Cub. But I thought those scenes were very bright, like, because I felt like the whole movie was kind of monotone and kind of dull looking. But I felt like those scenes where he's meditating and he's doing all that shit, where Baby Yoda was in the forest on that planet, and I felt like then it got bright. Then there was some color and some some distinction, some deeper focus in the cinematography. Whereas like I felt the rest of the movie, it was all green screen and kind of monotone and a video game. I felt like those scenes were actually popped and were pretty to look at. So I actually didn't mind that so much. So it did feel like, yes, this was again structure.
Right. Like this is that episode.
Yeah, this would have been a whole
episode.
This would have been a half hour on Disney.
Right. This would have been a whole episode right there. It would have been episode 3.
And so I didn't mind it as much, but I think my favorite scene was the big giant snake fight. When he, I thought that was cool. And Amani, those snake creatures that he was fighting. That picture I sent you.
Oh, okay. Let me.
So the Amani or Amana Man, that guy. Yeah, that's a very rare figure. If you can find one in the box, it's probably,
See, I knew you were going to know some, and I thought, some lore stuff. And honestly, honestly, when the monster even popped up, I was just like, I bet you Eli knows what the fuck this thing is.
He had he was on screen for maybe a second in Jabba's palace. And of course they made, as Star Wars, they made figures out of everything. So his figure's very rare, especially the old school one. But I guess he's popped up in novels and comics and,
because everything in
and
the
I
whole
guess
movie
there's an unfinished episode of the Clone Wars where a whole village of them, were in an episode of the Clone Wars. They just never finished it. So, but then they took them. I think they were supposed to be more of a tribal people, but then they took them, and I guess it's never canon. So they took those monsters and made them actual monsters. That he had to fight. I thought that was pretty cool, especially when he went on that ship, and they all came and swarmed him, and he had to take them out. It was like Alien. It reminded me of the movie Aliens for a second. So I actually thought that was pretty cool. And of course, the end. I'll never get tired of seeing X-Wing fighters.
Oh yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. I
like
love
when
the end
when
of
the
it.
X-Wing
Yeah.
fighters, the space battle came out, I was like, okay, this is why I like this. This is what made me fall in love with Star Wars. This shit. So yeah, that I just
Right.
okay. They're,
Or even him and Baby Yoda
yeah,
riding on the
yeah,
walker.
but
I was loving that
those
shit. So
X-Wing fighters and the dog fights at the end, I'm like, okay, here I am, a little kid again, smile on my face. Yep, this is why I like this shit.
yeah. Another prop I'm gonna give this movie. Baby Yoda was a puppet.
Oh, you wanted CGI?
No, I love the fact that he was a puppet. I thought that was
Oh, you
ballsy for
said
them
you
to
didn't
make him a
like it.
puppet.
Oh, okay.
No, I did like it. I'm sorry. I'm
Okay,
giving
yeah,
credit for
yeah.
this movie. I'm giving credit. Yeah. Yeah, I'm giving credit for because the fact, and honestly, I didn't even notice it until like halfway through the movie. Like, oh shit, he's a puppet. Because I think if he was CGI, I think it would have took us out of it. I think it would have been like Mandalorian got some kind of binary code or AI thing on the back of it, where when he was a puppet and had some great puppet work on it, you felt he was there.
Mm-hmm.
He was there with him. Even when he had his little side quest going on like that with him and the other little munchkin puppets and shit like that, and they just go on puppet adventures and shit like that. I'm like, wow, they really doing this shit. Even some of the monsters they were fighting, I think,
that
like stop
droid
motion.
fight, those droids. Yeah, I think they were
Yeah.
like Phil Tippett actually did stop motion animation for those
Yeah, I was
RoboCop
like,
2 looking
okay, this
motherfuckers,
some shit. Definitely reminded me of Ed 209, but yeah.
Or Bane.
So
that's a deep dive. Bane is like a bounty hunter, robot droid bounty hunter from like the comics. Oh, he was actually in the very first animated Clone Wars. What's the dude who made Samurai Jack? Remember? Yeah, that guy with the name.
The name.
Yeah.
I know you're talking about. Yeah, he's awesome.
Yeah, that guy
I don't know
made
his
that
name.
the very first Clone Wars animation, and that Bane is in that.
Now that shit is some of my favorite Star Wars shit ever.
Bane is in that, and he's also popped up in the comics. So those droids reminded me of Bane and the RoboCop 2. What's his name? Kane, the one with the drug.
So yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm giving this movie credit for some choices that they made. Because I feel like they could have went the easy route and did this. It would have made it easy to make them CGI, Baby Yoda. But no, they stuck to the guns. They decided to do some puppet work, decided to do some stop motion work on there, put us in here. I feel like some of these sets were actually sets, when just green screen. And it may have been green screen, but some of them did feel like sets. So that's all. That's all I got to say. I think I said enough about Star Wars, or Grogu or Mandalorian or where the fuck.
So slap a score.
Oh, and also Sigourney Weaver got the easiest paycheck she ever got in the movie. So,
yeah.
What's my name in this movie? Who cares? Okay.
Star Wars.
Yeah, Star Wars. Fuck it.
Yeah.
Cut the check. Okay. I'm gonna give it a 3.5 out of 5. That's what I'm gonna give it. It's a good, solid, middle of the road movie that the moment you got at this movie, you will forget about it, because that's exactly what I did. But at the time, I enjoyed myself, except for like 30 minutes of it.
I think I'll go 4. I'll give it a 4.
What? No, you
I
can't.
mean, I enjoyed it for the most part. Yes,
you were supposed to destroy Disney Plus.
I am. That is being nice and generous. I do think it has its problems. It has. The plot was very thin and it had structure problems, and it did feel like just a bunch of separate episodes crammed together and rushed for 2 hours, 2.5 hours, or however long it was. But in the end, I enjoyed myself. I had fun.
I'm just saying, you can't go higher than me on.
Well, on Star Wars, I can I? That's Marvel shit.
No, that's you're supposed to be extra hard on Star Wars.
But no, I enjoyed it way more than I thought I would. Remember, I really didn't give a shit. Remember, I didn't see it. The days of seeing Star Wars at midnight on opening night, those are done. Right. That's what I usually did. Every Star Wars movie, opening night at midnight for the past, since the prequels, and I waited a month to see this fucking thing. So that just goes to show you how much I didn't care about this movie, but I enjoyed it way more than I thought I would. Just for the pure enjoyment and fun, I'll give it a 4. Yeah, if I'm gonna critique the plot structure and the cinematic quality of it, yeah, it's probably a 2.5 to a 3. But but the overall feeling as a Star Wars fan, yeah, I'm gonna be a little biased, and I'll probably enjoy it more than some would, So I'll give it a 4.
That may be the first out of a non-horror movie you outrated me. Okay.
But
Anyway,
it
we
is
move on
nice.
past
I
this,
probably
okay.
would have done a 3.5 is probably more realistic, but because just those X-Wings, I made me a kid again,
Yeah. And the thing was, up until the point where it was a 4 for me until that point.
And I understand that. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I just didn't mind it as much. It was a lull. Yes, this movie had some lulls and, but
But for me, it had some awesome shit in it too. So I'm gonna give the movie credit for
chuckled a few times. It made me laugh a few times, and it was fun.
Yeah.
It was fun. And again,
honestly, I think this movie's gonna kill.
And in the end, I mean, it's not the worst. I probably like this more than Solo.
Yes, I'm agreeing with you.
Solo was like
It's
the
better than
only
Solo.
Star Wars movie where I came out and was like, but I still saw I still saw Solo multiple times in the theater. Just kind of say, it didn't suck this bad, did it? And I saw it again. I'm like, yeah, it kind of did.
No, we're in agreement.
It's not the worst Star Wars movie, so
it's not the worst Star Wars movie. Oh, and people also saying, because people want this movie to fail so bad that people saying this movie did worse. So no, this movie did better than Solo, like box office wise. So Solo is still the worst performing Star Wars movie. So stop with the clickbait.
It was fine.
Like that. So yeah,
it was fine. Like I mean, I out of the Disney era Star Wars, this is up there. I mean, I'm one of the few people that did enjoy Last Jedi more than others. I understand why people don't enjoy it, but I did enjoy it. I thought Force Awakens was a lot of fun. Rise of Skywalker, again, I had fun with it, but I thought making Rey a Palpatine was dumb as fuck. So I this is up there. It's better than some of those. It's better than Solo. It's better than Rise of Skywalker, I think.
They have something to work with.
I think going forward, they should branch off and go off, or take a break. I don't know, take some time off.
They took a break.
No, like everything. They've had shows and shit. Take a break from everything. But no, Filoni's the new president. He's gonna shove Ahsoka and fucking shit down our throat.
We need content.
That's gonna be the new thing. Ahsoka and fucking
I mean, that's the thing. If you want to revolve around all this shit, don't revolve it around Mandalorian. Revolve it around Ahsoka.
Yeah.
That feels like what you should be doing, revolving whatever plot points and synergies like that. Revolve it around Ahsoka.
Well, I mean, does she
whatever.
resonate with audiences the way Baby Yoda did? They hit the jackpot with Baby Yoda. They just fucked it up.
They did it by they didn't know it. They didn't have any toys ready. They just didn't even know. They didn't see it coming.
Now here they are. They kind of the hype fizzled out, and now they're trying to ride something that kind of the wind blew out of its sails, and they're still trying to ride the hype. And there is no hype for Baby Yoda. No one gives a shit anymore.
Right.
So they knew that they need a new Baby Yoda.
Oh well, they'll figure it out or not.
Pixar to do an animated Baby Yoda movie. Right. There you go.
They fell off. You talking about people that fell off? Shit.
Or take a break. I say take a break. Let people forget about this for a while, and then bringing it back in 10 years. Like, oh yeah, remember Star Wars and how cool it used to be? Yeah. That's how The Force Awakens was. It went away. Sure, the Clone Wars was a thing, but there was no Star Wars movie. And then when Force Awakens dropped, $1 billion. Because people forgot about the taste of the prequels. Were out of people's mouth.
Hell,
whatever. It was like. Yeah, but the hype was real. Remember, and Star Wars during Christmas, Christmas time became Star Wars time. That we're going to do a Star Wars movie every year for life.
Yeah, but then the nostalgia bait kind of wore off after Force Awakens. Then we all came back to reality.
Too much of this isn't,
Like you only get
Yeah.
one shot to do
Like, I
nostalgia
like
shit.
pizza,
So.
but not every day.
Right.
Sometimes I need a break. Sometimes I need a burger in there every once in a while.
Right.
But yeah,
Or at least have a clear plan. They was just throwing
Yeah.
shit at the wall, seeing what
Yeah.
sticks. Anyway,
yeah.
We-
This is probably the
we
most
talked
we've
about
ever
it.
talked about Star Wars.
Yeah. Yes, we have. Okay. All right. Move on to the next part of the podcast. All right. So like I said, this is Comic Book Bullies. We're going to talk about comic books. We're going to jump into it. And Eli, I'm going to let you go
Okay.
first. We're going to go for that.
Well, I will do M.A.S.K. number 1. M.A.S.K.
Okay. Did they have I can't remember their theme song. Did they have a cool theme song?
is the thing that next to save the day. I can't remember.
Okay, so they
something
did.
like that.
Okay. All right.
M.A.S.K.
Okay.
That's all.
That
Again,
explains
no
a
one's
lot.
gonna
Okay.
get this shit. People over 45. No one cares about this shit but us.
Right.
M.A.S.K.
Like the fuck is M.A.S.K? Yeah.
You mean the Jim Carrey movie? No, M.A.S.K. It's an acronym: Mobile Armored Strike Command. Command with the K. That kind of
Man with the K because it's
it
cool.
kind of sounds racist nowadays. Now that I'm thinking about it.
Right. Well, it's not like M.A.S.K. KKK. That would be racist.
Yeah. So M.A.S.K. was a cartoon and a toy line, or a toy line that became a cartoon back in the 80s, where one team of good guys had these vehicles that transformed into other vehicles. Yeah.
Like a car that turned into a boat.
A jet, a motorcycle that turned into a helicopter. Miles Mayhem had that cool jet that turned into a helicopter, and the semi that became like a battle station and shit. It was pretty. Me and my brother, shout out to Fat T. We had a bunch of these toys. They were pretty cool. So yeah, I was a fan of M.A.S.K. and but now Image Comics has now included M.A.S.K. into the Energon-verse, the Energon universe. So the Energon universe is Transformers and G.I. Joe crossing over into a shared universe, a shared story arc, and now M.A.S.K. is now a part of that. So, so this is number 1. We are establishing Matt Tracker. He's the leader of M.A.S.K. And he basically gets arrested by General Flagg from G.I. Joe. It starts out with a car chase. There you go. The military's after. He's in a Camaro, an old school Camaro, an old 80s Camaro.
Old school Camaro.
And basically the military's chasing him.
Matter of fact, I'd almost say a Pontiac.
Yeah, that's what it was.
But yeah. Even though Pontiac is no longer a thing anymore. But
he's driving. And
he's black.
They race swapped.
Hashtag
Matt
not
Tracker.
my. Matt Tracker. What's his guy name? Not my tracker.
So he gets captured. They capture him. They bring him in for questioning, and they're like, he's been a fugitive, and he basically went AWOL. Turns out Matt Tracker was developing technology, where he can turn, things into other things.
So
like
he invented all this shit. Is that like lore from the cartoon, or they just made that up?
Yeah, he was developing this new technology that can transform machines into other machines. And of course, because it's part of the Energon universe, he got it from Energon, the power source that the Transformers have. So that's how this ties in.
Okay. Let me guess. He turns into a helicopter or a plane and flies away.
He gets captured. Yeah, in this scene, he gets captured. And they take him in for questioning. They're blah, 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 blah. We've been looking for you. Where's Miles Mayhem? You were working for him and blah, 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 blah. And he's like, well, Miles Mayhem basically took my idea and ripped it off and fucked it all up. And then I went AWOL and said, fuck it. And I took my shit with them or took my shit with me. Meanwhile, Miles Mayhem is kind of paranoid. He thinks there's aliens out there coming to invade Earth, and he was using my tech to try and stop it, but he stole it and turned it into blah, 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 blah. So he's basically being interrogated by General Flagg, who heads G.I. Joe, And meanwhile, Miles Mayhem is going around looking for portals. He's got his, I forget the chick. What's her name? Vanessa. I can't remember. They all had like Viper because they had masks that they put on, and that powered their vehicle, whatever vehicles they were in, and they it connected to their vehicles and that. So yeah, they're going around looking for scientists who are working on portals, who are working with basically Energon, and at the end, Miles Mayhem and his crew, Venom, that's what he called, that's what the bad guys were called. They were called Venom. And that was an acronym for the vicious something of Miles Mayhem, right? Network. What was it? Yeah.
Oh, so it's like two M's? Oh. So it's not M.A.S.K, but you do get VEMO.
Yeah, it's like the vicious enterprise, network of mayhem or something. I think that's what it was. Something. Venom. M.A.S.K and Venom. They're two. It was like G.I. Joe and Cobra. So Venom are the bad guys. So Miles Mayhem and his Venom crew, they find like a gate, like a space bridge, which is probably goes to Cybertron. They don't reveal that yet, but that's probably what it is. And then, meanwhile, Matt Tracker is back at the G.I. Joe headquarters getting interrogated, and he just pops. Turns out he has like a little nanotech button on the back of his ear. He presses it, and a mask turns on. It like forms like Iron Man. Comes over his head, and then he calls his Camaro jet that comes in and busts into place, and then he escapes. And then he gives General Flag, here, I'm not going to join G.I. Joe, but if you need me, just press this button. You're part of the M.A.S.K network. And that's where it ends. And then he escapes. So Matt Tracker escapes G.I. Joe headquarters, tells General Flag to fuck off. But if he needs him, let him know. And then he flies off in his flying Camaro. So
now that I think about it, they don't make Camaros anymore either.
Not like that.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, and I don't get on. I think they discontinued Camaros.
But
whatever. Okay.
But
this is not a car podcast.
So this was number one. It was double. It was like 40 pages.
Damn,
and it was nothing but talking. So I dig the world building. I dig that they're diving into deep lore diving. I appreciate that, but it did feel like a slog to read, especially for a number one.
Right.
Yeah. This more felt like it felt a little James Bondy, kind of like espionage,
But even that, opens up with like big explosions.
Yeah, like you said, like how you thought, he's his, when they're chasing him at the beginning, his car's going to turn into a jet and he's going to fly away. No, that didn't happen. It's just a bunch of, it cuts between Matt Tracker being interrogated by General Flag and then Venom and his crew going around searching for stuff and talking about it. There was a lot of talking.
Wow.
So I was really hyped up for this book, but it did feel a little exhausting to read. So I was kind of disappointed.
Yeah.
But it's not like I'm not going to read the next issue. But I am into the Energon unit. I am reading Transformers and G.I. Joe. So I'm not going to drop this book. But this did feel a little disappointing because it was such a mostly talking and exposition, and not a lot of action that I was hoping for. Because I did have these toys. I had that Camaro that turned into the jet.
I think I did too. I can't remember. It's
like
all
I said,
blurred.
Me and my brother, Fat T, we had a bunch of these toys. Me and him. We even had the gas station headquarters. We were super into this shit. So I was a little I'll give some 3.5 out of 5. It didn't storm out the gate like I wanted it to. But it is interesting. It is interesting how it's tying into the Energon universe. It is interesting how they're like rebooting these characters. I like that Matt Tracker is a fugitive and not just another G.I. Joe knockoff. Like the cartoon was. Like the good guys and the bad guys. No, Matt Tracker is a fugitive wanted by the government, and he's staying ahead of them by using the tech that he developed that they tried to steal. And Venom, Miles Mayhem is this paranoid dude who thinks aliens are coming. And they are. They're the Transformers. so,
Right.
So yeah, I like the ideas. It just didn't have enough action and the epic, the epic, start that I wanted. So I'll give it a 3.5 out of 5. Well,
Right.
yeah.
Especially
And
for
it
number
being
one,
40
so, yeah.
40 issues, but of nothing but talking. So, or 40 pages of nothing but talking. So that got a little old
Right.
after a while.
Okay.
So yeah, 3.5 out of 5.
All right. Now, hold up. Pew. I should do this earlier where you're going. But okay, so the next book I'm going to do is the thing that we've actually been setting up for all of last month, for the last 2 months. Avengers Armageddon.
Okay, that dropped. I did not read this.
Did you? That
No,
dropped. Yeah. Did
I
you?
did
Did you
not.
read this or pick it up?
Nah,
Okay. Or
sorry.
you give a shit about it? Never. It's okay. It's cool. It's cool. The whole point, like I said, we've been planning and prepping and judging for this whole thing to see what's going on with it, and now it's here. So I kind of know what's going on, but like I said, I didn't read everything leading up to this, so there are some blind spots in there. But for the most part, we know what's going on. So Avengers Armageddon. And yes, this does kind of tie in that whole Captain America run, stuff like that. It could kind of
Red
ties
Hulk,
into that.
yeah.
So it's a good thing we
the
did
Red
read
Hulk
some of
was
that,
a
but
thing, yeah.
we should have read the rest of it. Yeah. Because other shit happens, but yeah. All right. So let's go to it, and boom, starts off. Oh, basically Red Hulk versus the Avengers.
Okay. And I thought about reading this, but I'm also reading Immortal Hulk, and that's Immortal Hulk versus the Avengers. It's always Hulk versus the Avengers. So
Hulk versus the Avengers. But the thing is, Red Hulk and Green Hulk are two different Hulks. So kind of same, but not the same. Yeah. We'll get to it. There are differences. There are differences between
Mando and Boba Fett. They're different.
They're different. Same, but different. All right, so let's get to it. Okay, so the thing is, so you got Red Hulk and some kind of gamma machine getting pumped up and shit like that, and then he transformed back into General Thunderbolt Ross. He just walks in and shit like that. He basically has a portable,
and he still got his drawers on. I see,
and he has the arm and his drawers. Of course, if you a Hulk and you not working out, but you look like you've been working out, why not walk around your drawers? So yeah, and he has the army of Hulks.
An army of Hulks. Yeah, shit, really.
An army of them. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, basically, like he got a attack squad. He just hulked them out and shit like that. So yeah. Oh, and he's taking over that.
Okay, I do remember that some of that shit.
Like I said, he has Hulks with him. They've taken over Latveria and renamed it New America. Yeah, because remember, like Dr. Doom, when he took over the world like that, kidnapped Ross, tortured him, beat him, and all this shit like that. So he broke out and like, "Fuck, I'm taking over Latveria." So yeah. But Doom left some weapons and technology and shit behind that Ross knew about it because he was in that prisons for so long. He knew about this shit. So he simply came to Latveria to take over that shit. So now he has all of Dr. Doom's tech. Oh, for those who haven't known, Dr. Doom's dead, I think.
Well, he died.
Oh,
is this still One World Under Doom? That's
no.
Yeah,
that's done.
I know.
This
is
the
died
aftermath of that.
Remember he?
Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. So since he died, there's no control. Nobody's over Latveria. So Ross said, "Fuck it, I'll take it."
Okay.
That's still sticking. Yeah, that happened in the Captain America run. Yeah. And Ross said he did it under America's, like basically when he took it over, America's taking over. But America's like, we don't want nothing to do with that. You're a fucking terrorist. So they label him a terrorist. So now he's just out on his own, just doing it. But he decided to rename Latveria New America anyway. And basically, not only that, he's going to take his Hulk army and they're going to go to Simcarica, New America. Yeah. So, but anyway, Silver Sable's country. They go in there. And meanwhile, the United Nations talking to Miss Fantastic, basically saying how
Russian?
Ross is basically saying, like, he's going.
Not Russian?
You say who?
Silver Sable.
Who? She's not Russian. She's from a made-up Eastern European company.
Not Russia.
Not Russia.
Yeah.
Not Russia.
Not
in,
Soviet.
In quotations, but yeah.
Yeah.
Not Soviet. You're right. All right. So Ross is basically putting on a news broadcast 30 minutes ago, basically saying that any dictatorship, he's coming to that country and he's going to make it a democratic republic. and any country pretending to be a dictator, pretending to be a democracy, but really dictatorship, he's coming after them also. That's why he's going after Silver Sabres country, because I think they're like not democracy anyway. And he's just going to start invading countries, like doing that shit. And then Simcaria, that's what it is. That's the Silver Sabres country, so like that. So that's Miss Fantastic, Reed Richards. He's there, and he's like, okay, what do you need to Miss Fantastic Four to do? She's like, okay, what I need you, and this is Secretary General, I think. She basically saying, I need you to do nothing. Like, what do you mean nothing? Like, don't do anything. Look, this is a very political hotbed going on right there. Yes, we know Ross is out of control, doing crazy shit like that. But the country, the world needs to take care of this. We don't need you crazy ass folks with all these crazy ass superpowers, getting in our business and fucking up shit, making it worse than what it is. Like there's an alien invasion every 2 weeks, mainly because of y'all. They're coming after y'all to fuck y'all up. So we want y'all to stay out of it. We'll take care of it. And if you do jump into it, then you're going to have a problem with us. So like, okay, we're out. Yeah. So Mr. Fantastic, get the fuck out of my office. So yeah, being sarcastic. Oh, Steve Rogers.
Okay.
He got into a fight with
fucked
Red
up.
Hulk.
Okay.
That was the result. Yeah. So Bucky's there, and then Bucky's talking to Sam, and Sam's just like, hey, it's time to go. So they're going to, and they're basically meeting up with the Fantastic Four, with Captain Marvel, with Vision, and Namor. Namor's there. So basically just like, okay, I know the Secretary General said don't do shit. So what we're going to do? We're going to do shit. So yeah. Yeah. And basically it's just like, I'm sorry about Steve, because basically Red Hulk fucked him up. So, which you would expect that to happen, Captain America versus Red Hulk. Even though Sam survived in the movie, but whatever. Spider-Man shows up. Cool. He's there. And I like this thing right here. Like Spider-Man shows up joking and shit like that. He's like, I'm sorry, Ben. I always joke when I'm nervous or sad or anxious. He's like, but you're never not joking. You're like, exactly. So, yeah. So, yeah, they keep going on like that. They're watching. And Tony Stark has built a machine called the Iron Watcher or shit. Iron Alert System. It basically watches everybody. He basically made a machine that watches everybody at all times to make sure crazy shit like Dr. Doom popping up all of a sudden didn't happen again. But Ross has popped up and he's worse than Doom. Yeah. And he said that's the part that scares me right now, because apparently Ross is moving to perfection. Everything he's doing, he's planning it too perfectly. And the way he's going, like the United Nations think they can take him out, but the way that I'm predicting what he's going to do, he's eventually going to take over the world, and none of us are going to be stupid. He's going to be worse than Doom. And they can already see it. It's like he's already won. So now they're at Silver Sabres country, and that's when the Hulks and World War Hulk. Is it World War Hulk again? I guess. Yeah, so they just come from the top to smash into it. Oh, and Rogue with the X-Men. Like, because basically Avengers trying to recruit the X-Men, and Rogue says, hell no. Like, why not? Because if you get into a political situation, they're going to blame the mutants first. We don't want nothing part of that. With the Jack Cyclops, Cyclops said the same thing. So like, and then in the background, you got Wolverine. Wolverine's like, I heard a nasty rumor. There's this guy walking around with a whole lot of firepower that you might want to talk to if you want to fight some Hulks. You know, like he's a former soldier, but they upgraded him. He got a big power set. Like, how big? He just says, big. So, yeah. So the United Nations vote on that they're going to send an army out there to take off the Hulks, and to fight. And it could basically label them a terrorist organization called New America. Meanwhile, this chick right here reports that, my king, they voted. So we already know who she's talking to. She was like, good, the nations need to defend themselves, as will Wakanda. So Black Panther isn't with the Avengers. He just out doing whatever the fuck he wants to do. I guess he's waiting for the Hulks to come to Wakanda. Because technically, if he's going after every country that isn't a democracy, and Wakanda's not a democracy, he should be on Red Hulk shit list also. So let's see how that shit plays out. So yeah. Meanwhile, they shoot him and shit like that. The Hulks are just taking them out shit like that. Hulk throwing tanks, Red Hulk throwing tanks. And he was like, okay, phase 2 of their plan. And what is it? So he knew that the world armies were going to send their armies after him. And he just fucked them up too, because they ain't really the shit they can do about it. So yeah. Meanwhile, the Pentagon is just like, okay, so you got this guy in a trench coat walking up there, like, put your hands up, you too close to the Pentagon. And he puts his hand on it, and he's wearing Captain America's outfit, put his hands on the gate, okay, and then rips the gate apart and throws them apart. So, yeah. And they're shooting at them, bullets just bouncing off of them. They might as well be throwing harsh language at them, shit like that, like, it's a white male with powers. So, and he comes in there and shoots at it like, oh, shit, it's him. Eli, you should know who this guy is.
Is that Agent,
Okay.
U.S. agent? Oh.
No, not him. Okay. This is David Colton. Okay, I know that don't mean shit either. The Captain America from 9/11.
Oh, okay. That guy.
That guy, yes. The guy Chip Zdarsky made. So basically, the whole reason he introduced him to set this shit up we're watching right now. So this is like, oh yeah, it's David Colton. He was a super program from 01. He's one of ours. It's okay. And he was like, I don't think he's okay. So he just breaks through the door and shit like that. And he just like, yeah. So these are the guys they're experimenting to begin with. And he's getting shot at again, but this time he feels it because it came from Captain Marvel and Captain America, Sam Wilson. They're like, okay, get the fuck back from them. And she was like, no, that's not gonna happen. But I'm not gonna hurt him. But I came to take care of what I came to do. So yeah, so Captain Marvel rushes him, takes him in the sky, start blasting shit like that. She's like, I'm gonna see you to the brig, And she's like, no, you're not. And then Colton, bam, knocks the fuck out of Captain Marvel. So he's the new top dog around here. He's had an upgrade. I don't know what, like I said, I didn't read all this bullshit they got going on right now, but something happened between him and the last time Captain America kicked his ass. So yeah. And then Sam throws a shit. He like, stop. This shit ain't gonna work. So yeah. And he's just like, and then Wolverine just shows up. He was just like, look, man, you ain't got time for this shit. We got a real enemy we need you to take on. He's like, nah, I'm not leaving until because they got a machine down there that can create super soldiers, and I want to make sure they don't do this shit again. I'm destroying the super soldiers program. And Wolverine's like, well, do it then. Smash the shit and get the fuck out of here. I don't give a fuck what you do. And saying like, hold on, man, you can't just let him destroy government property. You're like, look, man, if you see what they did him to, he deserved the shit. So Colton, break whatever the fuck you want to break, and let's get the fuck up out of here. So yeah, so he takes the whole machine, smashes it, and then just says, okay, Logan, who I need to hit next? What's my next target? And that's it. So yeah. So then, yeah, you got Namor and Bucky, because remember they used to be, before the Avengers, you had the Invaders. And apparently T'Challa isn't joining the Avengers because Namor's on the team. So it's like either him or me. So I guess they got their thing still beefing and shit like that. So that's all the people going on right there. Spider-Man said he can't go because, I'm a neighborhood Spider-Man to get back to the neighborhood and shit. And that's when, Colton comes back out with a new suit and shit like that. And yeah, so now they're about to, and then the Secretary again said the same thing. If you do this shit, I'm going to throw the book at you and you're going to be on my shit list just like the Red Hulk is. So basically the Avengers will be enemy of the states if they go to war with the Red Hulk. So yeah, and bam. So I got 2 words for the Red Hulk, that chick, and anybody else got a problem with us. Avengers assemble. That's it. So the book gets crazier. I've heard some things about what Chip Zdarsky, because Chip Zdarsky wrote this. So like I said, the whole thing we read is a prequel to what's going on right there. He wrote this. Red Hulk got some shit he got going on right now. They haven't revealed it yet, but he got some shit going on. So yeah. This shit may get so crazy meaning to being like a complete Marvel reboot. Like this may be their crisis. I don't know how big this thing is, but we're gonna see what's going on from there. But yeah. Overall, good strong thing. We're gonna see what Colton's doing right now. I give it a 4 out of 5. Good strong art, stuff like that. So yeah. It's just starting off, but yeah.
Cool. Stop a score.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
4 out of 5. I know people are going to love this because Colton beat Captain Marvel's ass. So obviously, a white man is the most powerful man in Marvel again. Woo! So, All right. So
I have
so what you got
Archie and the Army of Darkness, number 5. Archie X, the Army of Darkness. Archie versus the Army of Darkness.
X.
Yeah.
Being him.
Archie / Army of Darkness. Archie X, Army of Darkness. Number 5.
Yeah.
So yeah, this is an Archie book that crosses over with the Evil Dead. Evil Dead is Evil Dead 2, more specifically.
Mm-hmm.
Top 3 movies, my favorite movies of all time.
Did you ever listen to top 5?
I don't know if we ever
ever on any other podcast, Goldberg's podcast, or podcast.
Ever listed our favorite movies of all time, but it's up there.
Like all the time, like just
it's
top
on the
5.
top 5.
This
Star Wars, Goodfellas. Yeah.
I don't even know if I have a
Star
list,
Wars, Goodfellas, Evil Dead 2. That's what. There you go.
Oh shit. Okay.
Yeah.
You say this shit fast, like one take. Okay.
Yeah. Evil Dead 2 is definitely one of. I could definitely say my all-time favorite horror movie.
Okay.
So So yeah, this is an Archie book. Archie and the Riverdale gang. Archie and the Riverdale gang. Teaming up with Ash from Evil Dead or the Army of Darkness. So yeah, this was a lot of fun. This is the issue 5. It's the finale. Basically, it all started out. There was Reggie had a party at a cabin in the woods, and they found the Necronomicon in the basement. Archie accidentally read the passages and opened the portal to the demons, the Deadites, and started turning. Yeah, and then
As one would
the
do,
Deadites
but yeah.
came and started started a rampage, an undead rampage on Riverdale, and Ash shows up to help them save the day. And it's they went to S-Mart to get supplies, and so we had a few issues at S-Mart, where they got chainsaws and guns and shit, but then S-Mart got overrun with Deadites, so they had to take off, and this is where issue 5 picks up. The gang leaves S-Mart and goes to Pops. They got to go to Pops, and they basically fight their way through town. That's what they're doing. They're as you saw, their tires flat, so they can't drive, so they got to go on foot. So they're walking through town, through Riverdale, and then they got to fight a bunch of Deadites along the way. They get to Pops. Archie reads the passage, reads the incantation to send the Deadites back to to their world. He does so, but he ends up getting his hand chopped off. Archie.
Who?
So just like Ash got his hand chopped off in Evil Dead 2, and that's why he has a chainsaw in his hand. So yeah, and then they send the Deadites back. They get rid of the Deadites, and everyone lives happy ever after. The town's in ruins after that. You can there you go. Yeah, Betty and Veronica, murking Deadites and shit. So yeah, this was a lot of fun. It was very much Archie. Archie and the gang, like the goofy, bubblegum pop nature of Riverdale and the Archie comics, meeting the goofy, campy horror, nature of Ash in Evil Dead 2 or Army of Darkness. Army of Darkness is the third movie, and it's just a straight up comedy. Right. But this, I felt like this crossover really meshed well together. The two worlds meshed well. Like Archie and the gang, these teeny bopper hanging out in this suburban town, this small town, and then Ash being this goofy, cynical action hero fighting these zombie demon things, And so he's constantly talking shit. He's constantly, saying these quips and shit. And then everybody calls him out on it. Like they're constantly knocking him and shit, So it's like you have this the two generations or whatever, you know what I'm saying? You have like Ash is like the old boomer or Gen X, and then you have the millennials, Gen Z, Gen Alpha, kind of like constantly talking shit to each other. So I thought that was a lot of fun, And of course, very gory. You can see Ash is chopping somebody in half, chopping a Deadite in half. There's plenty of gore and blood. It doesn't chintz out on the blood. It relishes the gore.
Jughead chops somebody's head off.
Chopping a head in half and shit. So it doesn't chintz out on the gore as you would expect from Evil Dead. But yeah,
but not from Archie. But
and that's the thing. I've never been an Archie fan until they started doing the Archie horror books. Afterlife with Archie, Vampironica, Jughead the Hunger. Those are all great. The Sabrina, the Sabrina books that went all witchy and shit. I loved all that shit. So I thought this was great. This was really fun. I do kind of wish there was more of this is Army of Darkness and the army of skeletons on horse. I was hoping for more of that there'd be more of a like a rampage, an army of Deadites rampaging through the town, but it's just basically zombies, so it turns into just kind of a zombie book.
Yeah.
But other than that, this was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed this every month. I look forward. This was like my favorite book of the week. So I had a lot of fun with this. yeah, I'm an Evil Dead fan. I thought the two worlds meshed together very well, and yeah, I kind of sort of look forward. I kind of sort of look forward to the new Evil Dead coming out. No, but this is my favorite kind of Evil Dead.
Okay.
Ash, the Sam Raimi Evil Dead. The ones, the movies that Sam Raimi did. Those are my, that's what I love about it. It's Sam Raimi's direction and how he made them. Sort of these wacky, slapstick, kind of weird, experimental, almost filmmaking in a way. That's what I like about Evil Dead. Sam Raimi's Evil Dead, that he kind of went wacky and experimental. Or the newer Evil Dead movies, the remakes, the newer Evil Dead movies they've been making these past few years, they're kind of just your standard horror flick. They're just like another Conjuring or Insidious or Annabelle or,
Did you see Sin
No,
Hill?
I haven't seen that yet. Did you watch it?
Okay. It's on Disney Plus.
Yeah,
I might watch this weekend.
I've been busy. I haven't been able to watch that.
Yeah, but it's on
Okay,
Disney
yeah,
Plus.
I did see it like on Hulu or whatever. I was like, oh, I should watch that, but I have not seen that yet.
Oh, and
I did see that. I didn't watch it yet, but I saw that pop up on HBO Max. I almost rented that the other night, but I didn't.
That's what I'm saying. You gotta ask me, man.
But yeah, these newer Evil Dead movies. I know my kid likes them, and like the younger generation love these the Evil Dead remakes. And they're fine. They're gory. They got plenty of blood and gore in them, and the kill scenes are cool, and they're creepy and shit. But they just feel like your standard horror flick. The Conjuring, Insidious, Sinister, Annabelle, all that shit. Whereas like it lacks that Sam Raimi wackiness, that I enjoyed. So, but yeah, other than that, I had a lot of fun with this series. This might make my best of list at the end of the year. I had a lot of fun with this.
Okay.
I look forward to every time an issue came out. I look forward to it. Might pick up the trade. I just might pick up the trade. So yeah. I'll give it a fuck it, 5 out of 5, 8 out of 5, 10 out of 5, whatever.
6.5 out of 5. All right. So last book I'm going to do is let me do the thing. I'm surprised you didn't read this. Absolute Catwoman.
I was gonna, but there was like
it was a big week. I didn't get a chance to do anything. The thing is, I didn't get a chance to read Bishop.
Really? You didn't do? Oh, I'm telling.
There's always you got to do. But you can't. I found a loophole. You want to, because you know that they're watching. They don't watch until you fuck up, and then they watch it. Yeah. So the loophole I found, even though I couldn't do Bishop because I did want to do a black book. Absolute Catwoman is Afro Latina.
Oh. I thought you
This
said
is a black book.
Bishop was written by a white guy or something.
This was written by a white guy, and Bishop was written by a white guy.
Well, that's good enough.
Like white.
That's
like
good
you
enough.
like the Riddler.
You say you're boycotting because you're not getting true representation.
No, I'm not boycotting.
But that's what you could say if they come after you. Yeah.
I could if they come after me. Oh yeah, free representation.
When they're trying to outwork
like
you,
I said, I was gonna do it, but yeah, I did look up who was writing Bishop, and I was like,
Bishop, written by Chuck Dixon.
Yeah, come out wearing a MAGA hat and shit,
Yeah,
is that what the M?
Bishop
the
will
M
come
is not
walking through the hood.
Anymore.
No. Like, what's up, jive turkeys?
You're right. Oh man, and Marv would be like, "We did our job."
Happy. Yeah. Happy Juneteenth.
You're right.
I better stop. I'm gonna shut up.
Oh man. Yeah, okay. But anyway, Catwoman, like I said, Afro-Latina. So this counts as a black book. If y'all count Miles Morales, we counting this.
Yeah, there you go.
It counts the same thing. So yeah. So that's my
be
vote.
inclusive.
So
all inclusive. Yes.
Exactly. So yeah. So we're gonna get into it. Absolute Catwoman. Let's get to it. And this was written by Scott Snyder and some other Yahoo.
Well, yes, you spit it out of Absolute Batman. So yeah,
it's a Absolute Batman spinoff. So yeah, so it counts. So yeah. All right, get to it. All right. So book starts off in London UK, like there's another London. Anyway, what you got here is Catwoman sneaking around, stealing shit, trying to
Being
steal a shiny
Catwoman.
thing or a big thing like that. And she gets ambushed, bam, bam, bam,
damn.
bam, 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 by absolute
Oh, damn.
Catwoman. Because this Catwoman don't steal shit. She's not a kleptomaniac like regular Catwoman. So she's trying to figure out who the fuck is this right here, trying to steal,
Jack
my shit,
swag.
And, right. And she looked like that. And apparently she like got some glasses. She got all kind of like high tech shit and all stuff like that. But she can't figure out who this is. And then bam, some other cat women jump in there also, and they all got like guns and shit trying to get her shit. And she's like, all right, let's do this. So the thing is, even though Catwoman, dressing all super sexy and shit like that, everything in her suit has a purpose. Like the ear, one ear is an EMP, the other ear she doesn't save that for later on. Her suit is tactical, even though she got, I guess the cleavage is that, I don't know why, but I guess that has a purpose also.
One ass cheek, like
the
summon, like can go read to the satellites, and the other ass cheek, has nanotech.
Right. Everything is purposeful. Right. Everything is purposeful. Yeah. So she like take all these cat women out and
her
shit like
bra
that.
turns
Bam,
into
bam,
a
bam,
mech.
bam, take them off like that. Right. It's Scott Snyder.
See, there's a reason to be there. There's a reason
so
for her tits to be out.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
Storyline
For
purposes.
the plot.
All right. Right. So she kicked the Catwoman ass and thinking everything's okay, but she didn't see the bomb that they stuck on the wall for the guy to hit. That's not really running. They were running to get away from the bomb. And she's like, oh shit. So bam, blown up, and then she gets thrown out the window, and that's when we get a flashback to what we had here before. So yeah. So she celebrates. Like this is all purposeful for a reason. So yeah. I'm sure they explain later on. It's her birthday. She wakes up. She drinks coffee, goes to some thing, and she goes to the cat cave with all kind of goodies and shit. She's like, because she's retiring at 25. And she's like, shame I won't be able to use all this stuff like the Wildcat and the invisible armor and all this other bullshit she used in other issues later on down the road if this book keeps going on. But yeah. So she shuts everything down, and she gets another flashback past that flashback. And apparently she's a runaway orphan and shit like that. And her foster dad caught her stealing from her bank account and stealing, wristwatch like that. But she knows he can't do anything to her because he knows he's getting a check from the state just keeping her there. So he's like, fuck it. Yeah. So basically he's abusive, point like that. And she gets away, just want to be with her cats, and then she just want to get away from it. She wants to collect as much money as she can to get away from Gotham and never come back. Another flashback. No, I'm sorry. Flash forward.
Scott Snyder. 2 days ago,
Snyder.
5 days ago, 2 minutes ago,
3 days ago, 3 days ago. Yeah. But this is 2 days
tomorrow
after 5 days ago. Right. So she goes to her retirement plan and stuff like that, and she bought some kind of mansion in Italy. And they were like, we got this panther here, but we can't do anything with the panther because anytime somebody goes there, it bites them and mauls them, shit like that. She was like, well, it wants to be left alone, leave it alone. So yeah. Back to where are we now? Flash forward. Okay, before the beginning.
5 seconds before the present.
Okay. Right. It's this we are now. So basically she's in her house celebrating her 25th birthday and she wants to drink. She should go out, paint the town red, hook up with some guys, some shit like that. But she's like, nah, I won't do that, stuff like that. And that's when she hears something, grabs a knife, and then bam, throws a knife and hits a birthday cake from Holly. Not Harley, Holly. I know people are going to think this is Harley Quinn. No, this is Holly. This is Holly Robinson.
Like bald and like a skinhead. And absolute.
Absolute Harley is already a thing. This is absolute Holly. Holly Robinson is Catwoman's quotations best friend. Okay. That's all I'm going to go with that. Happy Pride Month. But so we're going to keep going back there. She was like, I want to get to celebrate your 25th birthday. She's like, how'd you get here? I told you never to speak to me again. Because I basically fell out, but Scott Snyder don't tell us why they fell out. But the point is they got some real shit going on. They don't like each other. And she realized she got punched in the face. And she's like, just like old times, huh? And basically saying 10 years ago. Yeah. So basically that's the first time her and Holly met on the roof when she was with her cats and shit like that. And she was running away from the police. So she got away. Police come looking for her. She was like, did you see a girl come in here? Like, I ain't seen her. Unless she's a cat, I ain't seen her, And then they keep walking like that. And then she's like, can I just stay up here?
Yeah.
A lot.
It's Scott Snyder.
It's Scott Snyder. Let me.
Look at that shit.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah.
Look at that
Yeah.
in all its glory. So yeah. So basically, Holly and Selena become best friends, shit like that, and they, whatever. So, and she's there, and basically, we don't know why they fell out. They just fell out. She's like, "Get the fuck out of here! I don't want to see you again. I never want to see you again." And then when Holly gets sad and leave, that's when Selena gets all sentimental, shit like that. Like, wait a minute, are you really in trouble that bad? Is you really, really need me? She's like, don't worry about me now, And she just leaves. So yeah. So when she leaves, she decides to eat her birthday cake. But when she gets the birthday cake, she feels something in it, and then she realized what Holly was doing. Holly was sneaking some shit in their tour with this MacGuffin or whatever the fuck it is, like that. And that's why the crazy ass Catwoman came in and tried to kill her to get that shit. So yeah. Fast forward to where we are now. And she's falling shit like that, and she tells her AI, because she got a parachute in her butt, but she didn't display it to get rid of it fast enough. So she dislocated her shoulder, broke her ankle. Yeah, but she's moving anyway. And the Catwomen are on their way out, and and her retirement plan is blown up. So I guess she's back in it. And she decides, well, I guess I can use them goodies that I didn't get a chance to use before. And then she uses the Wildcat, her motorbike and shit. So she's tracing after them and shit like that, trying to get them, tagging them, like on Call of Duty and shit. But she realizes, and Holly was kidnapped. So yeah, so she got to go after Holly, and yeah. While she's trying to scan that. So meanwhile, the Catwomen are blowing up the city trying to stop her from getting into it, and that's when her bike turns into a robot cat and hops over everything. Because it's the absolute, and they just do whatever the fuck they want to do. So yeah, hops over the debris and shit like that, and turns back into a bike,
like M.A.S.K.
Yeah.
Or so, Ravage from Transformers.
Yeah.
Soundwave.
Basically like that. So yeah, like that. So yeah, chasing them, Holly like, shit like that. She almost went to get it, and that's when the leader of the Catwomen, is doing something like they lock bikes, and the bikes are still going while they're fighting each other and shit like that. And she's like, okay, let's go, let's dance. And she pulls out like twin ninja blades and shit like that. Yeah, Cyber Ninja shit. And Catwoman's trained. Now, Catwoman been trained by, Killer Croc, but not only by Killer Croc, but like all the most dangerous assassins in the world and shit like that. She's just been hopping from place to place like that. She thinking nobody can take her. But meanwhile, she can't lay a hand on this chick. She's like, who the fuck is this chick? So she's blocking everything and like barely making an effort and shit like that, She's like, before she gets knocked off, she grabs and hops back on and shit like that. Meanwhile, the bikes are moving while all this shit is going on, So bam, here's what tail. Oh, her tail can move by her mind because it's neurokinetic.
Scott Snyder shit.
Fuck, shit.
They Snydered it.
Scott Snyder shit. Yeah, whatever. You're right. Still can't hit it. She bam, they like trade blows shit like that. Bam, bam, bam. And she's like, okay, this shit ain't gonna work. This ain't gonna hurt. And then blocks, bam, and then where is it? Bam, knocks off the bike, and they just keep going. And yeah, she's like, okay, this is gonna work. And then she goes for saying she got the thing. She know they're gonna come back and they gotta get that thing. And she like, give me the coordinates for the Wandering Rose. I don't know what that is. Scott Snyder will tell us later on, and because she needs more firepower. Meanwhile, we get to the base where the Catwoman and that leader is, and they get there, and she's just like, okay, mission complete. Now you ready for the
shit.
The person she was fighting was Cassandra Cain.
So absolute
Cassandra Cain. That's why she could lay a hand on her.
It's spoiler, right? Or no?
Yeah,
spoiler.
So,
what is
no,
she?
not spoiler.
Who's Cassandra Cain? Batgirl. Okay, yeah. But the cool
Batgirl, the Batgirl don't talk and shit.
Yeah. No, I'm getting my Bat family mixed up. Yeah, I know.
Yo, girl.
And who's spoiler? The one that
the one that sucks.
What's her name?
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Stephanie Brown. I remember her. Yeah. We don't want an absolute spoiler. She probably already dead in this universe anyway. So yeah. Yeah, or some shit like that. But yeah, Cassandra Cain, and that's why Catwoman couldn't lay their hand on her, because Cassandra Cain is just as much as badass in the absolute universe as she is in reviews. Hell, she probably worse in this because it's absolute. Tell me what the fuck she could do in this shit. So yeah. But yeah, that's what it is right there. As far as the story, like cool ending and shit like that. But as far as the story, I don't know enough about Catwoman yet. About Selena Kyle. I don't know what makes her different. Like in the Batman book, I knew what made Absolute Batman different from Batman. Yes, you're telling me that Absolute Catwoman is not a kleptomaniac and she don't steal shit. But I understand what she's not. But what is she? We don't know that yet. I mean, you could have gave us a little bit more milk. I know you want to spread this shit out as far as you want to, but you could have gave us a little bit more meat on the bone. So for the most part, but it did have some cool action scenes on it. I give you that. I just wish I knew more about this character to latch on to it. That's all, because it just felt like she was just doing shit, then fight scene.
Flashback, fight scene.
So overall,
flash forward.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Now you remember shit. 3.5 out of 5. Thank you, Eli, for reminding me that shit. So,
no, I'm booked out. I mean, it was a big week. I did read the new Daredevil. I'm still digging the new Daredevil. Shadow of Maul or whatever, whatever it's called. Yeah, that's basically a Lawson book. That cop. That's basically all that book's been. It's a cop doing, a police procedural. That's all it is. He's busting the gangsters and shit. Or this one was a pod race. There's like a pod race on that planet, on that city. And the gangsters were betting, and so that was fine.
So it's pod race.
They're betting on it, and then one of the pod racers was actually trying to like steal from the casino. So it's all that shit. But Maul is barely in it. He only kind of he's hanging creeping in the shadows and shit. Yeah,
he's
it's
just there
basically
to
that Lawson book. Who ends up dying? I mean, spoilers, he dies on that show. But this is a prequel to the show. But yeah, that was all right. That Alien King Killer is fine. That new Alien Marvel book. What else did new Ninja Turtles, Jin Lun Yang, right? New Ninja Turtles. That's pretty cool. And there was something else. Oh, Transformers. Yeah,
Transformers came out. Yeah,
big week. A lot of the books that I'm like, those are basically all on my pull list. Yeah. So I was like, I'll let Leroy read Absolute Catwoman.
Like I said, it's black books, so I'm obligated to read it. So
yeah, that's it. I'm booked out.
All right. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Announcement.
Yeah.
Some simple.
Don't forget.
Some simple. I put notes. I put notes in there. Yeah. Then announce the announcement. So all right. Very simple. Very simple. I just want to announce that the Captain America versus Dr. Doom thing we were doing last week. Done.
Oh, you edited it? It's all edited?
It's done.
Oh, okay, cool.
It's already uploaded. I haven't shared it yet because I have to run it through the system to make sure it hadn't been copyright stricken or anything like that. Hadn't been stricken. So I'm like, cool. I'm gonna actually release it on Wednesday. Y'all can check it out. Eli, you got a cool little part in it. I kind of like put some pizzazz on and shit like that. I may clip it and turn it to a reel. The little rant you did.
Did I do? Oh so, shit! Am I gonna get?
You did a rant.
Am I gonna get us in trouble?
Maybe that's maybe why I did it. We'll see.
Did I go? What kind of rant did I do?
But yeah. Oh, basically you just said like, why is every fucking villain Trump and why is every story the same thing as the news? That shit. So yeah. I kept it in there and I like did some.
Okay, as long as I wasn't. Yeah. What's with all these women in this fucking shit? Isn't there a man in the White House? What the?
Right. I also threw a Donald Rumsfeld speech in there because it was very important.
I remember you. I do remember you referencing that. Yeah. Yeah. So.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
So
as long as I didn't. Yeah.
That's all I got.
You ain't quoting me and that some stupid shit I said.
We will see. Like I said, you said it. I didn't AI you with some shit like that. So
yeah.
Like the words of Leroy. I mean,
I'm gonna say some fucked up shit, but I'm gonna make it come out of Eli's mouth.
Right. Like you just mouthing. It's just
throwing your voice.
Right. All right. So that's all we got. Oh, and like I said, I didn't do the thing, but I'm gonna do the thing now. Y'all, if you're listening this long, definitely do the like, share, subscribe thing. Do that little thing right there. Yeah, graphics. Yeah. Next week we'll come back with something else. I don't know. We'll see. Probably not Star Wars. I think we're Star Wars out for right now. We'll come with something will happen. Yeah. Until then, this is Leroy. We can talk to you guys next week. Same bully time, same bully channel.